I gave 3 votes to Benny Gale. I mean, he was all over that St Kilda defence in the forward line for Richmond, 14 marks. I gave 2 votes to Wayne Campbell. He showed some terrific dashes at the ball, and he was very committed all day. And 1 vote to Matthew Knights across the centre. He's part of that machine at Richmond, doing very well.
Wouldn't you expect to get a vote if you'd kicked so many goals as Tony Lockett did yesterday, Simon?
Well, Lockett doesn't really move too far from the goal square, Bob, and on a number of occasions John Howard was able to run down the ground unattended, and I think that's one thing that really irks football coaches. And John Northey gave Howard the benefit of the doubt, left him on Lockett all day, and Howard, even though Lockett scored 9 goals, I thought he did pretty well.
Simon,
thank you, Bob.
Simon, do you believe that the problems for St Kilda off the ground have anything to do with their on-field performances at the moment?
Look, I don't think you can use it as an excuse at all, Robbo. I think, that they're professionals. They've got to be focused, keep the task in mind, and unfortunately for St Kilda, they just weren't tuned in yesterday, and I don't think you can use the Winmar situation as any sort of excuse.
Well, surely it must be having some effect, Simon. Like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, they beat Collingwood at Victoria Park. Now, it must have an unsettling effect on the side when they're seeing this happening in the press every day. Winmar situation, that's all we hear. Surely the team must be affected in some way from all this.
Well, Winmar's out, Harvey's out. St Kilda have had depth over the last couple of years. Bernie, I just don't think you can use it as an excuse. I mean, these guys are professionals getting paid good money, so they've got to stand up and be counted. And I think their supporters will be very disappointed with their performance yesterday.
That man there, Stewie Lowe, was he any better yesterday?
He improved after quarter time, but Bullis, his opponent, who doesn't really look a league footballer, socks down, jumper out, and very scruffy, but was very effective, and I think overall played better than Lowe.
2 players, one from St Kilda, Gilbert McAdam, who's played well this year. How did he go yesterday?
He was one of St Kilda's better players in the first half, faded out badly after half-time.
And the other one, Campbell, I've watched him earlier in the year. He seemed to be tagged and not into the game. Did anybody tag him yesterday?
No, but Campbell, he had a free rein across the middle of the ground, and I suppose, the defensive side of the game in terms of some of the Richmond players is where you'd put question marks against them. They didn't have much defence in the first quarter, but they persevered, Richmond. They showed great commitment, and I think that was the very good thing about their game yesterday.